Hi, this is Vicki with the blog Ordinary Women. It's www.aboutordinarywomen.com. You ought to come and check me out. This is actually a look what I found video. But we are going to do a small little project at the same time. What I did find, then I'll give you the supplies for the project, is this great texture sheet. It is from this little point here all the way to the other point here, 14.5 inches. That opens up a lot of things. Most texture sheets are not very long or very big, and you end up having to piece stuff together, which I struggle with that because I'm not really good at matching stuff up like that. Or you get this little blank spot that you have to do something with in order to get it to look well. So, but this is what when I first saw this, I was thinking bangles. I don't make a lot of bangles, and I really don't wear bangles, but that's the first thing it made me think. And it gives you 3 different beautiful patterns to make bangles. I did a couple that they're not the best, so please excuse that. Using the Sutton slice. And what's really nice is the circumference of your average bangle is around 9 inches. 8.5 to 9 inches. You've got a bigger bangle and it's going to be bigger. It depends on your wrist size and your hand size. Smaller bangles, a little bit less. But most textures that you end up having to do, you have to piece stuff together. And you've got seams, and seams are hard to hide. At least they are for me. This is the only seam I have in this whole little bangle. Now this is, like I said, this was just a practice piece that's going to go into my grandbaby's junk box. I shouldn't say junk box, it's their bling box. Anything that I mess up that I don't want to take back apart or I can't take back apart goes in the little girl's bling box, and it's for them to play dress up with. And I have a few boys to get into that one too, by the way, and I don't mind. This was the second one I did. I put a little bit of a border here on it. This one turned out pretty good. I did have some issues, but I mean, it's just a matter of practice. I'm not really good with the Sutton slice. But, so this is one really great way to use this particular texture sheet. You find this in the cake decorating section of Hobby Lobby, which I thought was really cool. What I thought was even better was the price. Let's see if I can get you to see it up there. Get it to focus in. There it is. It's $5.99. You really can't beat that price. You use a 40% off coupon, and you've got something really expensive that works really well. And this thing is flexible. I mean, it's really flexible. It will also go into the oven up to 400 degrees. So that means you can bake stuff in this if you need to or you want to. If I was doing scrapbooking, I would probably bake the polymer clay in it and then use the pieces on my scrapbooks. But like if you're doing for scrapbooking. I'm going to be using this mostly for borders. I will be using, little bits and pieces for other pieces of type jewelry and whatever I can come up with. But it's going to be, a lot of this is going to be for borders for journal covers. Because I really do like that lacy look. And I do have a lot of girly girls. So that was a neat find. Now we're going to make just a little pendant using this. The supplies you're going to need is some polymer clay. Any kind of colors you want to go with, go for it. I am actually going to be using, I think this is pearl white or pearl. This is actually a souffle instead of primo, and this is just the red. I've got some black, and this is also souffle, and it's the green. You are going to need, I'm going to be using some embossing powder. You are going to need something to roller. I'm going to be using a brayer today instead of a regular roller. I'm going to be using this little tool to scoop my embossing powder with. I don't know if you can see it real well. I'm going to use a needle tool. It's for getting out the little itty bitty pieces. Clay blade. And I'm going to be using a cookie cutter. This I got, I can't even remember where I got it. I picked it up. But I kind of like it. I'm kind of fond of it. I'm kind of fond of the shape, honestly. And I will be using one of these because I'm going to place it on here and kind of round it off a little bit. Okay, let's get all the supplies together and we'll get started. Okay, the pattern I'm going to be using today is going to be this one. So I'm going to figure out where I want here, and I think I'm wanting two of these little guys at the bottom up towards the top. So I want to look down in it and make sure, and this is where I'm going to fill with clay. And I'm going to fill it with the white or the pearl. So I just want to make sure that two of these are covered and goes up to there. So I'm just going to press it in. You really kind of want your clay sticky at this point. Really sticky. This is going to be a really fast project, guys. This is not going to take long to do it all. But you want to press it really, really well because you're going to be slicing all of this off. And you can see at the top of the clay how much is actually pressed in. Okay, let me get some of that extra clay off of there. Try not to cut your texture sheet if you can help it. I have a tendency, I treat this kind of like I do Makumi Gain. I take little slices, little thin slices off the top and work my way down to the mold. I do that so I have a less chance of taking out my mold. Because, I mean, I could really take out my mold here at this point. Very easily take out my mold, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to slice up my mold. If pieces start to come up, just kind of press them down in it a little bit. Just work it. Okay, that looks really good. It's going to give me the exposure that I need. Because not everything's going to be exposed. Some of these are so low that you can't get it, but that's okay. That's just going to give it a nice texture. Now I'm going to take my black piece, and I'm going to set it this way. Take my brayer, and just go over it and kind of adhere it really well. And then slowly pull it up. Don't get in a big hurry about pulling it up because you want it to, like there, it didn't quite adhere. You want to slowly pull it up so you're getting the whole piece. And there we go. Let me get this out of the way. Got myself on a cardstock because I like to work on a cardstock. Okay, and we're ready to take our slice. Line up your, I hope my head doesn't get in here. Line it up exactly where you want it. Kind of like that. Press down. Move that out of the way. And you've got a beautiful piece. Isn't that gorgeous? Now I'm just going to use a little bit of this in strategic areas. This, don't worry about if you get a little bit on the top, because you can always sand that off really easy. If you get like a few flecks of the embossing powder on the top, you can always come back in. You've got enough material here, if you look. There's enough material there that you can do some light sanding and not do any damaging to your piece. Now I'm going to place my hole first. And actually I'm going to do it in this hole that's already here. Just give me a hole. Come to the back. Just someplace for me to put a cord through, if you want to do it big enough for a cord, or for me it's going to be a jump ring. And then lightly like that. Now, I'm just going to take a little bit of the embossing powder, just a very little bit, and I'm going to add it in some of these holes. Just tap it in. Like I said, if it gets on the top, it's no big deal. Just tap it in there a little bit. You can wipe off a little bit on the top if you need to, but I always sand almost all my pieces anyhow, so I don't mind putting a little bit on. If it gets a little bit up on the top and I have to sand, I'm just wanting to give an illusion of color in there, which this will do. You can even take your needle tool and put it in there, and even move some of the embossing powder around. Don't blow too hard here because you're liable to have a really big mess. Just a little bit more there. Put it on all the sections. Okay, I'm going to go away and finish this part, and then I'll be right back. Okay, you can wipe off the excess. That's what I did. I just kind of wiped it off a little bit. But it's all in there, and I don't like to leave my pieces, you know, just like that. So, and I normally bake on something anyhow, so I'm going to use the hollow bead maker. I'm just going to press it down gently. I don't want to distort anything if I can help it. Just press it down gently. And I'm going to bake this. I'm only going to bake this for about 30 minutes, but at the recommended temperature, because I'm not sure about the embossing powder. I've used it on pieces that are just like this, but flat. I've never used it on a curved piece before, so we're going to kind of get to experiment on that. So I'm going to get this baked, and I will be back in a few. Okay, we're out of the oven. I don't even think I'm going to sand this. I made a little bit because the little green's up here, but put a jump ring on it, and it's ready to turn into a pendant. I'll put a little jump ring on it, and I'll probably string it on a nylon cord, I guess it's not nylon cord, but a little silk ribbon. And it'll be a great little pendant to wear around. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Leave your comments below. If you have any questions, anything like that, I'll be more than happy to answer them. Anything that you make that you'd like to show me, please tag me in on Facebook at Ordinary Women. The link will be in the description box below. Just a fun little video, and it's basically just to showcase this. If you don't, they have a couple of different ones. This is the one I happen to pick out. I may go back for a few more because of the price. And that's what's really nice about this, is it's the price point on these. And they're really flexible, and I can see tons of uses for these. I think I'm going to get well worth my money out of this. And I hope you enjoyed this. We will catch you on the next video. Have a good one. Be creative. Bye.